Second down and 1, right back to Barkley in a huge hole. Saquon Barkley off to the races, and the home run hitter has gone deep here on the second play from scrimmage for the Giants.
What's going on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all platforms, Facebook, to another episode of Big Pat Sports Talk Reacts/Giant Thoughts and Big Blue Crew. As you seen in the screen left to me, that was Saquon Barkley, man. That was Saquon Barkley making a big run, and that was Saquon Barkley when he was healthy. So my question to you guys: should the New York Giants offense be ran through Saquon Barkley in 2022? A healthy Saquon Barkley. Should the offense be ran through Saquon Barkley? The New York Giants offense be ran through Saquon Barkley in 2022? My answer is yes. Reasons why: I believe this guy is extremely motivated this year, as you've seen him going through OTAs, as you've seen through his interview. The guy's extremely motivated, he's extremely hungry, and he's extremely angry about the things that have been said about this franchise as of late, the things that have been said about him as of late, and in the way that things have gone with the Giants as of late. Like the past, since he's been here, it's been turmoil. Even though he had a great rookie season, we still had a bad record. And he hasn't had a very good season since then because of, injuries, play calling, bad offensive line, and really not getting a fair shake since he's been here. Dave Gettleman failed a lot of people in his organization, and he's one of the main people he failed. We took him at number 2 because he was the most dynamic player in that draft. A lot of people say we should have took a Sam Darnold. A lot of people said we should have took a Quentin Nelson. I'm one of the ones that thought that we should have took Quentin Nelson. But he was brought here to help out Eli Manning, because we were not willing to get rid of Eli Manning at the time. And he put a lot of pressure on this kid, man. A lot of pressure on this kid to do amazing things without too much on the field. The same thing Daniel Jones has been going through, he's been going through. Bad offensive line play, bad play calling, just a bad organization, bad drafting, bad coaching, bad offensive scheme. But to get to him, when he's a healthy, hungry, and angry person, I think this is the perfect guy to run your offense through. I think this is the perfect guy to run the zone run scheme that I believe that we're going to run, with pulling guards and pulling tackles, and allowing him to get to the outside on run plays is going to be extremely dangerous. Off-tackle run plays going to be extremely dangerous. But I think we have a coaching staff that's going to use this guy the way that he's supposed to be used, like in the Alvin Kamara role. I know it's a little bit cliche. I know it's a little bit, you're trying to compare him to Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara stays healthy. Alvin Kamara can catch. Well, so can this guy with the best of them. And I believe he could be a better version of Alvin Kamara. For one, he's faster. For 2, he has the same great hands. For 3, he can run the same routes. For 4, he's stronger. And 5, I think he's more motivated than ever this year. And to say, let's just say this. I think this man should get at least between 15 and 20 touches a game at the very least. Give him about 10 to 15, 13 runs in the run game, and give him about six catches or 6 attempts in the pass game. Give this guy at least 20 attempts to get the ball in his hands every game, and I think good things will happen. He's only going to need about 13, 14 run attempts to have a good game if you have a good offensive line. Because out of those 13, the 15 run attempts, 2 of them are going to be broken off for a good 20, 25-yard runs at least. So I could see him averaging around 70, 80 yards a game rushing, 50, 60 yards a game receiving. You do that, I mean, look, that's over 2,000 yards in all-purpose yards. Saquon Barkley should be your ultimate all-purpose back. And what I mean by that, he's not a guy that you want to go out there and rush for 2,000 yards, or you want him to rush for 1,800 yards, getting almost 400 carries. No. You want Saquon Barkley to be Mr. All-Purpose. Taj, hashtag that. Mr. All-Purpose. That's what I want to call him. That's what I want to call Saquon Barkley this year. Mr. All-Purpose. If this guy can average over 100 yards and all-purpose yards a game, that is amazing. That will help out this team tremendously. Imagine him having to be scared of him running the ball because we have a good offensive line, having him to be scared to run the ball, and everybody comes up to stop the run, and you hit him over the top to another receiver because he's opening up the game for you. Imagine hitting him in the screen game when everybody's worried about everybody else on the field, and you hit him with a screen, and this guy turns the screen play into 35 yards or maybe even a touchdown. Who knows? At the very least, get you a first down. Imagine this guy being able to run behind the offensive line and get good yardage on first down. And when he hits the hole, which he has to do better. I know everybody's going to say, oh, well, he doesn't hit the hole. Yeah, I know. He does have to hit the hole better. You do have a point there. He tries to make the big play too much, but I think Brian Daboll is a coach that can bring it out of him to tell him, hey, look, kid, when you see a hole, you take the yardage right there when you see the hole. You don't have to make the big play every time. Keep the chains moving. Keep the chains moving. And also be Mr. All-Purpose. Because if this guy is getting 1,800 yards, all-purpose yards, that means our offense is rolling pretty good. And all we need is our defense to hold up. Am I saying that nobody else should be able to shine? It should just be Saquon Barkley shining on the offense? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the offense should be ran through him. And he should dictate the pace of the game. Saquon Barkley is the type of player that can dictate what the defense is going to do. If he's killing them with the run game and he's gashing them with the run game, they're going to bring 8 people in the box afraid that this guy may hit a hole and break it for 80 yards. And that's when we can go over the top of the defense with even more speed at the receiver position. Oh, you're scared of him? You're scared of him running the ball like crazy on you? Okay, let's do this play action and throw a screen to him. Now your linebackers are out of position, and we got our offensive linemen blocking on safeties and DBs. Okay, you're good at stopping the run. Okay, let's put Saquon Barkley out there in the slot and let him work against a linebacker. Let's put him all the way to the outside and let him work against a linebacker, because if you bring that linebacker over there, that means you're in man. So we know what you're in, and if that linebacker's by himself, you've already seen what Saquon Barkley can do to linebackers in the passing game. Mr. All-Purpose. That's what we have to get Saquon Barkley to be. Saquon Barkley's not a bell cow type running back. He's a extremely, extremely, extremely athletic, talented, all-purpose back. Alvin Kamara is considered one of the best running backs in the league, and he's never had a season over 1,000 yards. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he's ever had a season over 1,000 yards rushing. But he's Mr. All-Purpose, which leads to a lot of touchdowns, a lot of first downs, and leads to wins if you have a good team on that field, which I do believe we will have a pretty good team on that field. Not saying that we're going to run roughshod through the league the very first year with Daboll, but I think these guys know how to build a team, and if we have a back that is Mr. All-Purpose, the sky's the limit for our offense. Because if he is being Mr. All-Purpose, that means your offensive line is doing pretty good as well. That means Daniel Jones could get the ball to the receivers. He could get the ball to his tight ends because things is opening up. You got to focus on Saquon Barkley. What if they have to double Saquon Barkley? Like they have to double Alvin Kamara. Why do you think Michael Thomas and them were going off over there with the Saints? You had to put so much focus on Alvin Kamara. Guys like Emmanuel Sanders when he was there. Michael Thomas when he was healthy. Guys can go off in that system because you have to focus on Alvin Kamara. They don't use him as a traditional back. And so that throws the defense off. When you finally do run him as a traditional back, he gashes you. He gashes you. So, yes, I think the offense should be ran through Saquon Barkley. And that's what I want this guy to be. Hashtag his name, Mr. All-Purpose. All-purpose yards, it should be the key for this offense with Saquon Barkley. You want him running. You want him catching. You want him to get. It's not a bad game. This guy only gets 60 yards rushing in the game, but he has almost 100 yards receiving. It's not a bad game. This guy has 80 yards rushing with 50 to 60 yards passing on top, receiving on top of it. Mr. All-Purpose. If he's getting over 100 yards all-purpose every game, like an Alvin Kamara, our offense will be extremely, extremely hard to stop. Just going to be honest with you. That's the way this guy should be used, and that's the way this offense can be pretty powerful once everything comes together. That offensive line comes together and starts to gel, and we're using Saquon Barkley like he's supposed to be used, like Mr. All-Purpose. Man, that'll be a sight to see, man. That'll be a sight to see. And I would definitely love to see exactly what they could do with that, man. Mr. All-Purpose. I'm not one of those guys that's going to be like, oh, well, Saquon Barkley can't run for 100 yards in the game. Well, if he's getting 60 yards rushing or 50 yards rushing, but he's getting 60 to 70 yards receiving, that's over 100 yards. It's the full length of the football field, so that's at least one touchdown. And when you're using a guy like that, and he's gashing you in the run game and the passing game, you don't really know which one that he's going to gash you with. You guys remember, man, that game with the Saints where Alvin Kamara had 6 touchdowns, man? They didn't know what they was going to do with Alvin Kamara in that game. They don't know what they was going to do. And not only when you're using him as Mr. All-Purpose, it's easy throws. Alvin Kamara is not running 70 yards down the field trying to catch a fly route. He's catching the ball out the backfield, turning a 1-yard pass into 15, 20 yards, sometimes 50 yards. He's catching screen passes. Those are not complicated passes. That allows your quarterback's completion percentage to be up. It allows your quarterback to have confidence. And with that opening up the field, allows your quarterback to make deep throws across the middle of the field to people that's wide open because you're focused on Mr. All-Purpose. Stop trying to use this guy as a Derrick Henry, like King Henry or somebody. He's not like that. He's not Ezekiel Elliott. He's an all-purpose back. And we've been using him wrong except for his rookie year. When he was used right his rookie year, guess what? He had over 2,000 yards, all-purpose yards, or close to it, because he was being used the right way. Mr. All-Purpose. That's the way that he's supposed to be used. And if you use him like that, that means you're focused on him and the offense runs through Barkley. We're going to use Barkley to determine what are you going to do with us today. Are you going to bring your linebackers up to stop the run? Are you going to zone your linebackers to try to stop him from gashing you in the middle of the field? Are you going to have a spy on him to where he catches the ball out the backfield every play? Okay, then we're going to start running play actions, faking it to him, and start hitting you on these quick slants or these deep posts with Tony and Wan'Dale Robinson and open that defense up. And then we're going to come back to him once you start backing up. Mr. All-Purpose. He helps you in the running game. He helps you in the passing game. And he helps you in the passing game, not just for him, but for everybody else. He opens up lanes for the tight end to get into the seam because the linebacker is focused on him. He opens up lanes for Wan'Dale Robinson and Tony to get a quick screen on the other side because he's running out to the other side and somebody has to go with him. Because if you don't, he's going to make you pay. So that's one less person to go over there to try to stop a quick screen to Tony or Robinson. He allows Kenny Galladay to get one-on-one coverage on the outside. Work on the back shoulder throw, DJ. But this is what Mr. All-Purpose allows you to do. Why do you think Daniel Jones had a good rookie season when that guy was in there? Because Sherman knew how to use him a little bit as well. You use him as an all-purpose back. He's not a traditional running back. I said that when he was drafted. I looked at his film at Penn State. I said he's not a traditional running back, but you got to get him the ball in space. You don't use him back there to block. That's not what he's going to do. He can't have everything. Now, he could be a little bit better at blocking for sure. But he's an all-purpose back, the ultimate all-purpose back. Just because he's not an in-between-the-tackles runner all day, and that doesn't mean that he can't be an all-time great running back. Oh, he was drafted number 2. He should be able to get 1,000 yards rushing. He was drafted number 2 to be an all-purpose weapon. And when you have an all-purpose weapon like that, that opens up the whole offense. So that's my answer, and it's supposed to be a little shorter, but you know how when I start talking. But yes, the offense should be ran through Saquon Barkley for sure. And I'm going to say this one last time. Hashtag Mr. All-Purpose. That's what Saquon Barkley should be to the New York Giants offense in the 2022 season. Hopefully Dabo notices it. Hopefully Kafka notices it. And hopefully we can go out there and put up some points this year. But I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Who's ever still tuned in, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that join button if you want to be a member of the Big Blue Crew and talk your talk with Big Pat Sports Talk. The more members that we get, I'm going to be able to start giving back to the Big Blue Crew community, starting to give out signed jerseys, hats, gear, free Big Pat Sports Talk gear. I can't wait to start being able to do that for you guys. But until the next episode, get over the hat. Peace.